Good day. Well, it's another year, 9/11, and still a lot of people are not up on a lot of things happening with 911. But, there are a lot of people that are still about 9/11 that they may still not know. We're, what, 21 years later here, and believe it or not, there's still a lot of people who believe the official theory of 9/11. It's hard to believe, but there still are those people out there. And unfortunately, there's always going to be those people out there. I mean, even with John F. Kennedy, you kind of see the same thing, right? There's still some people that really believe the official theory. And with any of these things, any of these false flag operations, you're always going to have that. You're always going to find people that just want to believe what they're being told, or just kind of fall in line and believe what everybody else does. And sad but true, that's what continues to happen with 9/11. But then on the other side of it, every year I see more people, who are kind of open up to 9/11, or kind of have their own questions about it, doing their own research. And it's never too late. And it's interesting when you chat with people for years and years, and they just automatically believe what the government told us about 9/11, what the media told us, and then years later, their view changes. To me, that's a big victory, and there's so many great people out there who every year do the 911 Film Festival, and just kind of reminding people, hey, we're still here, we're still looking into it, and we're still hoping for a real investigation someday into 911. I'm sure a lot of the data has been destroyed, taken down, but hey Joe, how are you? Yeah, I wrote a little book about 9/11, just a little book, just a very little book there, just for the family and friends, and um, it was a very uh, it was a big goal for me to write that book, because it's something that I can give, to my family, to my friends for years to come, and hopefully they can give it to theirs too. And it's, just the basics, just the very basics, just the facts, man. Maybe a little bit more of that, but a lot of the questions, it's really just questions about 911. That's really the purpose of the book. Not to act like I have it solved and I know exactly what happened, because I don't. Um, and not to get into a lot of the things, a lot of the divisive things, that I think kind of distract a little bit from some of the main points that I really love to stay focused on, like many people love to stay focused on. Well, that's good, Joe. Glad you're doing good. I wasn't able to get out to any 9/11 Film Festival this year. I didn't even make it to Bohemian Grove this year either. So, and right around now, between now and the new year, things really get crazy for me and my schedule. So, I did have a few minutes here to just kind of pop in. I'm still here, but glad you're doing good, Joe. Hope your Sunday is going as good as it can be. I don't know, lots going on. Lots of football today. It's opening week, so all of us football fans will be watching lots of football, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to seeing the Tampa Bay 10-year anniversary of Benghazi today as well. Thank you for reminding me. That's right. 10 years since the whole Benghazi thing, which a lot of people think cost Hillary Clinton the election, which I don't know. I mean, that may have put the icing on the top, but definitely didn't help Hillary Clinton. That's for damn sure. But you can see exactly what they want and what they've wanted. Um, and it's interesting the day, right, that it actually happened. The Benghazi thing actually happened on 9/11. So hey, that's every year too. I kind of look for, okay, what type of terrorist threats? What are they going to pull for this 9/11? Right? We'll see. See if there is any random shooting or anything like that. But it's pretty interesting the way that 9/11 changed the whole world. And I'm sure for many people, John F. Kennedy's death, Martin Luther King, um, Malcolm X, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., or Robert F. Kennedy, not Jr., Robert F. Kennedy, all of their deaths really, changed a lot of the landscape as far as in the public eye and the way that the public looks at the world and the news and the fear tactics and the terror and everything. And then, of course, the whole TSA thing, which really has deterred me from flying. I didn't like to fly anyways, but after 911 and after the TSA came in, it would definitely, fly as minimally as possible. I'd rather drive 12, 13, 14, 15 hours and have to, fly for 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours. But the very few times that I have flown, it feels like you're walking through a prison yard or something, and they pat you down, do all this stuff. But you can come across the border, come across that southern border, um, without any of that, right? But can't get on a plane. Us citizens who live in the greatest country ever can't get on a plane unless we're groped by the TSA, and it's sad, and it makes no sense. I mean, none of it makes sense, but. Um, but thanks for the reminder about the whole Benghazi thing. That was just another horrible incident, by the same cast of characters that we see here. A lot of them, I believe, it's the same cast of characters with 911, going way back to John F. Kennedy, too. Who knows how far back? Maybe even to the founding of this country, since before the founding of this country, and then after the founding of this country, trying to disrupt the flow of this great nation. And to me, it is a great nation. It'll always be a great nation, no matter what. Every nation has its problems. Every nation is going to have its own issues. But you know, I I've never seen anything like the U.S. Constitution and the way that it can be used for good, for bad. But some of those basic things that are in the Constitution, that I believe have really helped make this country what it is and kept it going, stopped a collapse of this great nation. So, when I think about 911, I definitely just, there's so many different feelings because it always takes me back to that moment where I was when 911 happened, and how my views and everything have since changed. I was a Democrat, you know. I was a pretty strong Democrat, and got even stronger in my Democrat views, and the media that I watched and everything, um, because of the war. Once we went to war, it was like, wow, this really makes absolutely no sense. Got a guy over here who they say pulled off 911, but we're going to switch gears and go after somebody else. So things like that kind of began the process for me. But it was definitely loose change, the very first loose change. All four of them. I don't know how many they've made, but I've seen the first four, and that first one is really good. I think the fourth one is really good too. But those movies really like forced me to kind of open up my eyes to some of these theories that were going around about, well, maybe what the officials said about 911 was not true. And then, I mean, Building 7 and Richard Gage, the whole architects and engineers. Well, once I learned about what they were talking about, I was like, wow, there's really some scientific data. David Ray Griffin, and putting together all of the different quotes of all of the police officers, the firefighters, and EMTs, and the witnesses who all talked about bombs in those buildings, hearing bombs, hearing explosions. And these are not explosions that would be caused by jet fuel, not even by the planes hitting those towers or anything like that. Some of them happened, even before the second tower fell down. So there was a lot more to it, and it was just doing the research. And the problem is, like the same thing. A lot of the problems we're having now with Facebook, with the YouTube censoring and all that. I mean, picture if we would have had social media as relevant, as active as it is now back in 2001, and what that would have looked like. How many channels would have been banned? You know, how many groups would have been banned? Wouldn't even be here today. Wouldn't have had a chance to educate people like me, to let people like me know about, hey man, there's something else going on here. Something else happened on 911. Those planes did not bring down those towers. And then looking at the evidence of what they claim about Osama bin Laden and those four planes, the four hijacked planes, and all the different weird things that happened surrounding those, and no mention of World Trade Center 7. I mean, when the 9/11 Commission came out, when their report came out, and there was like nothing about World Trade Center 7, to me that was pretty much it. It was like, okay, well, what's the point? What's the point in reading all this stuff? Just to get their view, I guess, just to get, well, the official theory says this, and then people can easily pick apart it and see why it is wrong and why it does not make sense. So that's all that my book was intended to really do here. And the audiobook is out there. The audiobook, I think, did get banned from YouTube, but I think it was some of the video that I put in there, because the audiobook is like 7 hours, maybe 8 hours long. If you go to my Spotify channel, you can listen to each chapter too. So I have all the chapters on my Spotify channel. What is truth? And just put in what is truth, Greg Fernandez Jr. Make sure you put that in there, and it should pop right up. You'll see the cover of the book, and you can read all of those chapters free. Um, but I will put that, all of those audio, all the audio back up. I just haven't had any time to do much here, and like I said, between now and the new year, it's going to get a lot busier, so my time will be even more limited. So just wanted to stop by, say hi. Hope everybody is doing as best as you can be. Remember to stay strong with Jesus Christ. God loves you, and just do your best. Do the best that you possibly can in this world, and um, that's it, man. You're gonna be a light, be a light that shines. I'm gonna try to be a light for Jesus Christ. That's what I'm working on me, continually and forever. So God bless you all, and you never know when I'll pop back in, but I'm back on this channel here because it was gone. It was banned or whatever, restricted, but it's not going to stop us. God bless you all. Have a great day.